Hey, welcome to a foreigner in the Philippines. Oh, I got a frog in my throat. A frog in my throat, I was about to say. What? Thought we'd just catch up on some comments, okay? And we are actually going through a spell of, in the last 28 days, I think it is 11 or 12 new subscribers. So a lot of the same questions, frequently questions that are coming up, and they're being asked again. Now, I'll just list them and then tell you that there are plenty of videos to look at in order to find it out. Now, I know it's a bit of a minefield because I often think that we should number or date our videos, but the research that we do says that it comes down, most opinions come down against that. So we don't do it. We do our research, we try to find out what's best for us, and then we follow it. But let me just a few of the frequently asked questions. Buying land in the Philippines. You can buy land if you're Filipino or if you're married to a Filipino. And the other things are dealt with in other videos where people have got somebody else to stand in for them, a trusted friend, and then when they get married, they transfer the papers. So that's what some people have done. Has it worked for them? Well, Mitch of Australia, he did it that way. Did people like that? Oh, some people didn't like his friend or didn't trust her, and he did. Everybody makes their own choice. What's another one? House cost. People constantly who are in the process of coming to the Philippines, and they want to know what this house cost or what that house cost. That there is no one size fits all. What is the house? What's it made of? Where is it? Obviously, if you have a house with 300 feet of white beach frontage at the back of the house, it's going to be a little bit more than if you've got one that's next to the recycling plant for the local town, okay? And probably even less if you're next to a pig farm where they've got 6,000 pigs and very little drainage. So, what's the next? Should I come to the Philippines? Should I actually retire there? Another one, is my money enough? Is it 500 or 1,000 or 1,500? I have people who actually have, they might have 2,000 or 3,000. They might have $3,000 a month coming in, and they're worried about whether they can last on that. Oh, wouldn't you know, the dogs have started. Yeah, of course, the nearest point of reference that I can have is where I came from, which was America, and people were going around shooting other people, going to schools and doing it for entertainment, and then they were knocking the people that complained and talked about their experience. There's really no place that's safe anymore. You have to choose where you want to live. It's as simple as that. And we dealt with that many times. No place on earth is safe. Totally. You might go out, and my mother used to say, well, you could go out tomorrow and just get knocked down by a bus, couldn't you? And that's very true. It will be more difficult here because there are no double-decker buses. No, there's no place safe. So what else? Safety. Yes, that was it. Now, some people comment about the exchanges between Beth and I. Some people say, it's really obvious that you really love that woman. Oh my God, it should be. I really adore my wife, and I think that the feeling is mutual, even though I'm not quite the hunk that I used to be. Don't laugh. It's not as everybody thinks, because we are on video and we're putting on a performance, and you have to bring a sense of humour with you. When you look at it, if she chastises me, if she swipes me across the head, believe me, it doesn't hurt because she does that. It's not, this is just jostling between husband and wife. That's what it is. Don't get all worried. I'm not going to come down with a brain tumour because of what Beth does to me. Nor is she going to suffer for me doing my mock victim. Oh, you're not doing that to me again, are you? Don't. It's entertainment, okay? We have an act and we do it for people's entertainment. So, quit worrying. What else? The purpose of the guest house. We still continue to get inquiries. Is it? How much is it to book the guest house? Is it fully booked? Do I have to? We made the guest house. The purpose of the guest house is that because we felt that sooner or later somebody might actually want to visit us, and they did, and we are now the most visited channel on YouTube. I think it's fair to say that. We have had countless people come and stay, and we haven't had too many complaints, I can tell you. It's not 5-star living, it's not a 5-star resort, it's pretty basic. We invite people that come and stay with us to do so for nothing, and they come and they meet Nanai and Lena and all our family, and actually they live as our family live. So if I get called down to breakfast or dinner, then I go out my door, and right opposite my door is a guest house, and I say, it's time for dinner, and they come down or they don't, and it's up to them. And if they can get down quick enough, Nana will say grace, and then we'll eat. And what food will we eat? Whatever we got. That's it. So that's the purpose of the guest house. And the other thing is, perhaps that's not the purpose of the guest house. That's a byproduct of being a guest in our guest house. The fact is, I'm of the belief that it's not enough to have people know that you do a certain thing. You should be seen to be doing that thing. So that's my view on it. So if you want people to trust you, you have to be seen to be trustworthy. If you want people to believe you, then you have to be seen to be telling the truth, even when it's a little bit tough to tell it. There's a saying here in the Philippines by one of the community halls. I've forgotten what the group is that made this up, but they say, be honest. even if you cannot. Be honest. It says, now, what is the saying? Be honest even if others are not. Be honest even if others cannot. Be honest even if others will not. And so it goes on. Even when it's tough to tell the truth, you must be seen to be telling the truth, and then people will all believe you once you've established it. And then after that, you have to be seen to be doing that. Right. Now, in having people stay with us for free and contribute whatever they want to the dining room table, which is a fairly obvious thing, you come and you stay and you see what we do. We don't change anything. If we've got a trip to Tagbilaran to a hospital, which was recently the case with Enoch, he came along with us. We didn't say, oh Enoch, we'll pay for you to go to the movies on that day because we're not we're at the hospital waiting. Well, he came and he waited with us. So he experienced exactly what we do. And that's what other people do too. That's what 5 people have just done that came. And that was Sean and his family and friend Brett. They came and they saw what we do. They went round. They had brought 2 gifts. One for one lady, mother, and one for another. and we took them round and said, well, here's the lady, what do you want to say? And they said, we want you to have this stroller. So they did what they wanted to do. They saw us in action. We actually went to the people that we've helped in the past because they knew them from videos past. So that's the thing there. So let's see what they get. So people that come to see us, they get to meet the people that they've seen on video, and they get to actually talk to them. And very quickly, a visitor will get to sniff out the BS. And there is none here. So, what else? Dating on our channel. Now, people who are obviously really nice people want us to fix them up, and some then, when we don't, they can get annoyed with us. We've had one guy used to write long emails to me about what he did and what he wanted to do, till in the end I did say to him, you know, you're really wasted on telling me all of this. You should have a blog of your own, because a lot of what he said was really good common sense, and he knew a lot about farming. He knew a lot about mysterious stuff to me because I'm a city boy, but he knew it all, and he was telling me, and he was sharing it, and it was going completely over my head and was completely wasted. I've had other people who are absolute staunch, dedicated scholars of, say, the Bible and religion, and they've written long messages or comments, and these are people who can write, and they really should have a blog of their own, and I say that. But the dating thing, mostly we get people who want to know, say, about Jessica, or about someone that they've seen who we did a fun video of. Now, a lot of the time, just to make a video, we'll get, say, Maria Therese, is beautiful young lady who is still at college and hardly interested in going and committing to a long distance relationship, but it's fun, and she, not the most talkative lady, but she came on and she did it for fun, and she's beautiful, so you know, it's a joy to look at her. I have to say that, and people do. And then people ask us for her contact information. Well, she says, I am willing to receive contacts from anybody on Facebook. So we give her Facebook page. When someone wants to know about Jessica, we say she's taken, and you can see that on video. There are other people who want to meet, say, one actually wanted to meet Nanai, and Nanai was not interested. She considers that she has had the love of her life, and that was Beth's father, and it ends there. But we also get people who are interested, say, in Lena. Lena has very limited English, even though if it was face-to-face and there was chemistry, I'm sure she would be very interested in meeting someone. But it's one of those things you'd have to turn up at the door after giving us notice, by the way. So that's it on that. Now, the other thing which we get comments on is people who have obviously fallen madly in love with Beth, and how can I blame you for that? But they say, Beth doing everything. So, like, she does everything. She does laundry, she works in the rice field, she goes cooking, she climbs coconut trees, she rides a carabao, she's learning to drive, she's a contractor, building superintendent, she's an accountant. I just imagine her getting up for a day in the mind of people who have become so besotted with her, understandably, and like her getting up in the morning and she goes out, she climbs a coconut tree just for the fun of it, then she goes and she cooks a breakfast for 5 or 10 people, then after that she whips out and does all the laundry by hand, even though we have a washing machine. what does she do? She sings a few songs while she's riding the Carabao down to the parking place where we've got the little red truck where she's going to teach me to drive. She is my warrior princess. But she doesn't actually do all of those things every day. When we do a video, we're doing a video. The funniest one was when someone said they were looking at Beth showing how you would work in the rice field. So she'd obviously got into the right gear, and we went down there. I held the camera, and she got and she did the talking. This is what we do, and you have a knife and you do this, and she did that. And somebody wrote and said, "Damn, the husband should get in there and help her with the work," as if they thought that was her job. But in all of these things, it's not our job. What we do is we make videos. What else? Well, the age difference. What about the age difference? Well, what about it? No. Someone said, "You've got no toilet seat." I had noticed. Well, somebody's finally got fed up of that. Before our friend Sean left, he said, "Look, I'm tired of hearing about no toilet seat. So you always tell me that whatever someone gifts to you, if they say that they want it used in a certain way, you'll promise to do that. Here's the money to get a toilet seat." And he gave me a few hundred pesos, and now I've got to go out and get a toilet seat. Thank you very much. Now, what's the other thing? Complaints letter in brief of what we are particularly going through at the moment. So, I'm reading from the letter that this is a copy of the letter from this Mr. Smith. Okay, now it's not the same Mr. Smith that was with Angelina Jolie in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay, it's not him. So, what did he say? He said, let me see. Terence Martin is method of operation. I'm only going to do this brief, alright, let's keep it light. His method of operation is to film people in need and then ask for donations. One person he raised over 500,000 pesos after crying on camera and claiming she would die without his viewers. He then degraded the Filipino online in social media, saying she was ungrateful. Oh, she wasn't grateful enough. So he used the money. When he says the money, he's talking about the 500,000 pesos. He used it to build a house for his wife's brother. Another woman he used died of cancer while he held on to the donation received. Oh my goodness. I'm not being facetious about this. The lady with cancer, she had had cancer for a long time. She had the operation, they removed the cancer, but she then had to have, I think it was something like 8 or 10, this is a while ago, 8 or 10 treatments of the radioactive stuff, okay? And she could only afford, I think it was 4. So she couldn't go back for any more. By the time she came through to us and we made a video, it was pretty well already too late. We went to a very simple house and we spoke to her and we said that we would do a video, and we did do a video, and a man sent, I think it was 8,000 pesos. All of this is all checkable on video. He sent 8,000 pesos, which we held on to. Right. If there is a medical assistance that's needed, we've never ever given the money. Well, once our friend Desiree had finished with what we could do and the house that we had built for her, we gave her, that was in the early days, she was our first house that we built, we gave her 17,000 pesos and told her that she better hold on to that just in case there was an operation that would come up. So that was that. She used some of that to help her family. So after that, we, for the benefit of whoever we were helping, we would hold on to the money and pay it in for the medical treatment. Now, the one that this other lady that this man is talking about is Nisa, and Nisa had something growing in the back that looked like a fist. And we showed it. We showed a still photograph of that on Facebook, and it brought people to our channel. And we actually raised not 500,000. So this is a lie. He is actually lying. And how do we know? Because everything that we've ever done, we've chronicled on paper, because we knew that at some time or other we may well be asked to account for what we've got and had and used. We actually raised 412,000. Now, 412,000. What happened to it? Well, we built so that she would come back and not have to go back into the dirt floor hovel that she was living in, that we showed her living in, which prompted a lot of people to be very sorry for her. Now, 73,700 went on building the actual house. We actually put water in, running water. We put a bathroom in, we put a kitchen in, and one subscriber of ours even bought her a hob and a gas tank, which I personally, and along with Malalut, carried that down the hill to her place. Nearly killed me. So, what we actually spent was 183,000 pesos. We spent 62,720 on trips to pre-med trips for the operation. And then just before we took her to the bone center, and he says in this that we just, when she didn't want the operation, we just said, oh well, you're no good, you're not very grateful and all of that. Actually, it wasn't us that said that she wasn't grateful, it was all the subscribers. How do you know? Go and look at the videos and you will read the comments that are still up. It wasn't us that said she was ungrateful. We tried our best to get her to have the operation. Why? Because when I sat with her personally in the office of the surgeon who was going to do the operation, I asked him two major questions. I said, what is the risk involved if this lady has the operation? And he said, 1%. 1%. Now, I said, what will happen if she doesn't have the operation? And he said, well, vertebrae 11 and 12 are gone. Now, when he said gone, it means that they were no longer doing their job. And he pointed like this, and he said, 11 and 12 are just like they're useless. So what was happening was that Nisa was gradually leaning over and over, and you can see how my knuckle is at the back. That's where 11 and 12 were, and they calcified around the damage, and it grew and grew. And then she got tuberculosis, which went into the bones. So what we had to do was, we had to get her fed. We had to get her to put weight on, a little bit like the baby Faith. Had to get her to put weight on to actually become more healthy. And we had to get her to take the medicine for the tuberculosis, which had gone into the bones. So we did that. And when she was ready, we called her up the night before and we said, now, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to Cebu. And she said, I've changed my mind, I'm not going to do it. Then followed, the next day we went and we talked to the parent, not the parents, we talked to the relatives that had suddenly appeared. And I behaved like a foreigner, and I, as you will see on the video, I couldn't understand it. I knew what the surgeon had said, that she was going to die, and nothing's changed on that. She hasn't had the treatment, so sooner or later there's going to be some very bad news for her. And I didn't understand why these people had suddenly appeared. But a lot of the subscribers knew, and they said, whatever is left, we want you to use it on the next project, on someone who is more than grateful. And the next project that was up was the pastor's house next to the church, which is Pastor Timio. Now, when Pastor Timio is working as the head of the Superman team, working very, very hard, putting houses up in 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, houses. Nobody complains that he's my brother then, my brother-in-law. They don't complain about that. So, what else has he said? He said that charitable purposes have included building himself a swimming pool, a garage, upgrading his house. And oh yeah, we've been upgrading the house. We still haven't got electricity in. We've got a few plugs and no lights, nothing like that. We haven't got a door on the toilet. We haven't got all of the windows in. There's still a window upstairs in the bedroom which is not in. We don't have AC. We don't have any of those things like that. And the house is totally unfinished. Someone gifted us the money, gifted us personally the money to put all of the windows in, except for that one, and the front door. We hadn't had a front door for over 2 years. They say that we built a road on money that should have gone to the people that wanted us to use it to help people, but instead we use it to build a road. We built the road ourselves, and we had a GoFundMe fundraiser, which raised some money that we were able to build, that we were able to do a road of sorts, which we've now had to do again, and we were able to get started on a bridge, paying the workers to do the work. And what we were left with when the bridge was finished was a debt of over 70,000, which was personally down to us in debt from the hardware store that we use, and we paid that off. So they say he provides NEPA houses. We don't provide NEPA houses. NEPA is something that goes on the roof. We always put tin roofs on, and that's always the case. We never put a NEPA roof on any of the houses that we've made. Now, these houses, he says, are at inflated prices because we, according to him, we sell them to the people that we make them for. We sell the houses. Let me tell you, the people, if you've watched a video, have a look at the video of the terrible man. He was living in what amounted to little more than a pile of trash stacked up together. I crawled into that thing and it was absolutely horrible. And we built him a new house. Now, he didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, so I'm sure that we didn't sell it to him. In fact, I've made the point that the people that we built houses for, if you said to them, I'm going to build you, if we had said to them, I'm going to build you a house, and it's going to cost, say, 70,000, or say like Nisa, 70,000. Now all you have to do is give us, why don't we call it 500 pesos, $10. So give us $10 cash and we'll build you a house. They would have to say, can't do it. We don't have $10. We don't have that money. So we can't do it. And without exception, they've been like that. So even after Nisa was finished with any idea of having an operation which would save her life, we still took the medicine every week, every month. We took her supply of medicine plus some food, and any money that was left over, a few hundred or 1,000 or something pesos, we would give it to her. During the time that we were working with her, we tried to get her to save. We secured an allowance for her from someone in Sweden. We did a lot. And all of that, when they saw what she did and how she behaved, they withdrew their support. We didn't withdraw the support, they did. So, he says, let me see. Oh, now this is a real, this is a classic. It says, this has become a hot topic in the expat community. Really? And unless stopped, regulated, or it will be copied by other expats who would happily exploit the needs of Filipinos for personal gain. Well, that's not speaking very well of all of the other expats, is it? So, here's what's going to happen in this, if I may predict, is that at some point, this Mr. Smith, aka who knows, and most people have already made up their mind on that, he's going to have to be held accountable, because this paper is so full of lies, which it's not going to be a case of me standing there saying this is a lie, and him saying no, it's not. All of the videos would be presented. Now, we're going tomorrow to meet with our attorney, who is processing the paperwork for our non-profit organization, non-stock, non-profit organization, so that we can continue working. Now, at some point, we're going to have to know the identity of this person, and then, by his associations, we will put the rest of the picture together. And he has made accusations which bring into question my good name and Beth's good name. In other words, he is saying that we are cheating, scamming, stealing, lying, and all the rest. And because all of our proof is already on paper, on the computer, and on video, how can he prove those lies? He can't, because our records go back to the beginning. And we have always been so transparent that is what made people trust us. Now, here's a person who has told so many lies just in the first letter. How can he be trusted? So, let me see, what else? I think I've pretty well done it all. So those are the comments that I wanted to make a point of answering. And tomorrow we're going to an early meeting with our attorney, and we're going to see about what should be done about bringing a case for libel and slander against our Mr. Smith. You see, eventually everything does come around. Thank you for everything, and for those who say you're threatening at the end of your... Isn't it strange that even in the legal system in America, sometimes when a criminal breaks into a house, threatens the life of the owner of the house, and gets shot trying to escape, he then brings a case against the owner of the house that he robbed and threatened. And then the law says, oh no, you can't defend yourself, you were threatening. Am I threatening? I'm simply saying that, what is it? What goes around comes around, and there are no free lunches. The piper must be paid. You're going to have to stand up and back up all that you've said. Otherwise, all of your threats against the DSWD, well, no one's very happy about it. So, thanks for looking in. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thank you. Bye for now. And I really am very, very grateful, as Beth is, of how people have rallied round and backed us and given us encouragement. It's just wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Bye for now.